What is going on, everybody? Excuse me. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so we're just getting rolling here. We are going to do another shallow dive live where you guys give me your requests for the trucking companies that you want to see. Me do a little bit of a live look into, see what they're all about, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next company. I'll get through as many as I possibly can in the little bit of time that I have today to do this. So I appreciate you guys being here. Just request a company and we'll get started. What's going on, IB White? Welcome in. Welcome in. Excuse me. Okay, gotcha. What's up, El Bizzle? Yeah, anybody coming in, just request a trucking company and we'll get started. Got a bunch that are smaller companies that really don't get the attention that they deserve just because they're smaller companies. I know a lot of people are looking for those bigger companies to check out. So a lot of times I don't get to the smaller companies, the little mom and pop places. So if you guys request those, I'll definitely make sure to try and get to those and find out the details that most likely you won't be able to find, or maybe you can, but I'll make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, we got Millis Transfer, Prime Tanker Division. I did one on Prime. I think I was more focused on their dry van, but I've kind of already done a deep dive on them. I think I did give a little bit of information about the tanker division on that. So go back and check out my Prime deep dive. I've done 25 companies so far, so if I'm saying no to it, most likely I've already done a deep dive on it. I've been getting a lot of questions as to if I'm going to be going back and doing some updates on some of the companies. And I think what I decided to do is go ahead and just post about them if I find out the information about it, either through you guys or Discord or just information I'm hearing through the industry. If there's changes on pay, home time, things like that, I'll make a post on YouTube here and make that correction. I don't want to give people false information. I knew getting into it that when I do a deep dive, it's a matter of time before the company changes the policy. So keep an eye out on that. Also, join the Discord server if you haven't already. Lots of folks in there sharing up-to-date information as they're going to work for these companies and giving each other feedback and stuff like that and helping each other out grow and be successful in this industry. Anything big on May Trucking Company here in Oregon? I haven't heard any updates on May. As far as I know, they're still running manual transmission trucks. I think I've seen a couple of comments that they may be increasing the pay, but I might be thinking about Halvor too. For some reason, I get those two mixed up. So let's go ahead and type, I see a Raider. People have been asking about them too. I'd like to know where that's out of, Raider. All right, I got that one down. Let's go ahead and check out Millis Transfer and see what's up with them starting out. All right, so first things first, just check it out. Millis, not Milo's, Millis Transfer. Okay, it looks like they're out of Wisconsin. 3.8 stars right out the gate over here. Let me actually, how much experience does Millis Transfer require? Millis Transfer is a training through Millis, blah, 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 blah. Bringing your CDL. Okay, so it does seem like they have a CDL school. Interesting. Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought they required some experience. If you need your Class A CDL and are going through their paid apprenticeship program or training, you must meet their following baseline requirements. Be at least 21 years old, high school education, must be able to read, write, speak English fluently, physical, drug screen, background and record terms, requires a commitment to complete the training and drive for Millis Transfer for 1 year post graduation to cover schooling costs. Okay. So, experienced driver, if you already have a Class A CDL over the road, you got to be, okay, so if you do have your license already and you're not going through their CDL training program, it looks like they're going to require 6 months of over the road experience. Excuse me, for some reason I got some phlegm in my throat. So yeah, I mean, if you're going into it with a CDL already, they're going to want experience. If you're just starting out and need to go through a CDL training program, it seems like they do have that option with a year commitment, which honestly, based off of what I've seen so far, is pretty standard. Let's check out their school here. Our free apprenticeship program, free isn't free. It just means that they're not going to charge you money, they're going to charge you time. No cost program, earn $600 per week during classroom instruction, earn 34 cents a mile as a trainee, and 52 cents per mile after training, 56 cents per mile after training is complete. Become a full-time driver for Millis upon graduation. Okay, so let's see, admission. Same thing Google was saying there, 21 years old, DOT physical, all that fun stuff. Must have a minimum of a high school education. No kindergartners allowed over here at Millis. Apply online, locations, let's see where they're out of. Okay, so they're spread out here on the East Coast. I feel terrible for the West Coast folks because I don't get a whole lot of information about companies from over here, but it looks like they have a location in Cartersville, Georgia, Texas, Wisconsin, it seems to be their head terminal, Pennsylvania, Virginia, nope, North Carolina, and that's about it. So not a whole lot of locations. Generally means it's a medium-sized company. However, I've seen this company all over the place. So any other information here? Millis Training Institute. Let's see what we can see. It probably just a pretty classic school. Truck driving jobs, certified top pay, carrier for 15 years in a row. Okay, they're just bragging about how cool they are. Driver pay scale, one-year drivers start 56 cents per mile and top out at 66 cents per mile. Okay, so I don't know if that means year one driver, 0 to 1 year experience starts out at 56, and then it goes up from there. 70-mile-an-hour speed limiter, or governors, that's not bad when everybody else is at about 65 to 68. Dash cam, you choose to use the driver-facing camera. So that's an option, it looks like, based off of their website. Millis Transfer pays per diem. Now, a misnomer for per diem is that it's extra money on your paycheck. That's not true. All per diem means is that that portion of your paycheck is tax-free. So if you get 2 cents per mile per diem, 2 cents per mile is not taxed. So it is a little bit of a help, but it's not additional pay. So 3 weeks paid vacation, home time you can count on, detention pay after 90 minutes of on-time deliveries. So that's an hour and a half. Most places are about 2 hours, so that's a little bit better. 401k company match. Any specific jobs? Do they have any job listings? Make your career decision with both. Truck driving jobs. Yeah, that's okay. So they're not showing exactly what it is. Top earners are making more than 75 cents per mile weekly. That's a weird wording for that. If you guys want to get on here, I don't want to try to get copyright, but it seems like they got a little video of what's going on. I'll have to try to get to these guys. I know I'm going to try to do a handful more of starter companies, but after that, I'm ready to move on. I've been doing the deep dives now for a year, a little bit over a year actually, so I'm kind of tired of doing new companies. I want to get a little bit of a change of pace. All right, let's see what everybody's saying here in the comments, and then we'll move on. I've seen a FedEx. FedEx is a weird one because they require, or they use contractors. So basically, instead of it being FedEx Fleet. It's Joe Schmo's Incorporated Transportation. You apply to work for him, and he's contracted his trucks on with FedEx. So it's not really so much them as it is whoever the contractor is. So that one's a little bit of a weird one. You'd have to call whatever location you're out of and see if they have any contractors hiring, and find out some more information that way. Can you check Raider Express, Fort Worth CDL School? Yes, I have them on my list. We are going to them next. What's going on today, fam? What's up, buddy? Looks like Og7. Og7, what's up? I've been thinking about Cypress. Thanks for the deep dive on them. Very informative. No problem, buddy. I appreciate you. Well, welcome in anybody that's just coming in. We're doing a shallow dive live here, which means that we're taking a look at some trucking companies on a very surface level. We're just looking at their website, taking a look at some reviews possibly, seeing what the internet has to say about them. We're not calling them today. We save that stuff for deep dives if I can get to them. But go ahead and make a request for a company that you've been curious about. I'd like to look at some smaller companies, maybe mom and pop places that you're wondering about. But whatever you guys request, I will try to get to. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Raider. Bar None. Okay, here, there's another one. Bar None. I think I actually did them in one of the other shallow dive lives, but we could possibly take another look here. Check about pet policy for Millis. Okay. Just a quick Google search should be good enough on that one. So, does Millis transfer allow pets? Yes, Millis Transfer does allow pets. Drivers are permitted to bring dogs and cats that weigh 50 pounds or less, provided they are non-aggressive breeds. Contact their recruiting department. It shows here that the reference was on Facebook. Millis Transfer, yes. Have you taken advantage of our this is 2018, so I'm not sure if things have changed. While we're here, though, let's check out, see if they've said anything about that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to flip the screen here. Yeah, we're over here on their Facebook page real quick. I'm not seeing anything as far as their pet policy. The one that we did see was from 2018, so it could be out of date, but I would definitely give them a call on that front. All right, we are going to take a look here at Raider. Rider or Raider? I've seen both. Let's check out both. Raider Express. Okay, I'm hoping this is the one that we're talking about. We'll educate drivers through our free CDL school and training. We then equip our drivers with the tools they need to succeed for over the road. Okay. So it looks like they're based out of Fort Worth. Their website's a little bit clunky here. Free CDL training, no contract, no deduction for school. We believe in growing our company by investing in honest, dependable, hardworking people. Paid CDL training, guaranteed $800 a week for the first 2 months of driving. Free truck driving school, paid classroom time, 4-week paid CDL training. Classes start every week. First-year drivers make $70,000 a year. That's debatable. That's over $1,300 per week. Let me write that down. $1,300 a week or $70K a year. Let's see if we can find out more information and do some math on that just based off of what we're seeing here. Start your journey here. Bright red trucks. More than just free CDL training. I'm curious of what their contract is. No, nothing is ever free in life. We understand what a truck driver should make, and we expect a lot from our drivers. In return, we believe they should be well compensated for the hard work that they do. Okay, so it's saying on average for 2022, most truck drivers are at $49,000 a year. They're saying that they're at $80,000 a year. even though they just said $70,000 a year. 9 out of 10 drivers receive a fuel bonus. First year solos, solo driver, and trainers. Trainers are making a lot more money, which they should. I mean, you're passing down information and stuff. Okay, so the requirements over here at Raider Express: background check, no DUI, DWI, no drug charges, no violent offenses. Minimum age, like everywhere else, is going to be 21 years old. Pass a hair follicle drug test. A lot of folks have a problem with the hair follicle test. So if that's a problem for you, Raider Express is not going to be it. Prospective drivers pass a DOT drug and alcohol test and pass a physical by an approved doctor. Stable work history. This is another one that could catch some people here. Must have 2 years of verifiable stable work history. They will check all motor vehicle records. Some testimonials, some check out here. Let's see. Drivers, Raider Store, Safety Portal, Cooking, Newsletter, Employment and Recruiting. Okay, their website isn't showing a whole lot. Let's see if we can just do a little Google search here and find out some more information. One of the questions was pet policy. Sorry, I don't know why I spaced there. Does Raider Express allow pets? No, Raider does not allow pets in their trucks. So pet-friendly carriers, this is good information. Prime, Roll, Swift, Western Express, and Schneider. Those offer pet-friendly trucks. What else here? What is the contract for going through Raider Express CDL training? Really? According to this, Raider does not require a traditional contract or tuition repayment obligation for their CDL training program. Instead of locking you into a long-term contract, they offer free training with the expectation that you will drive for them for a period of time to pay for through the labor. Okay, how long is that period of time? It's a non-accredited, company-sponsored school. Blah, 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 blah. There's no formal contract. Okay. Timeline, the 21 days over the road. Yeah, this is a phone call one. We're going to have to call on this one to find out what their contract actually is. That really sucks that they're not putting that out there. Let's check out Trucker Report. It's a pretty good platform, kind of forum based. The training course is that 10 cents a mile. After 28 days of training, the student will be placed in their own truck at 30 cents per mile. $1,000 worth of bonuses. Okay, I'm trying to find out. Yeah, something seems off about this. They're obviously not putting that information out there for people to check out. I wanted to see if they had any job information, recent CDL graduates. We're hiring recent graduates with less than 1 year of over-the-road experience. Okay, again, they're showing their yearly, they're showing their weekly pay, but they're not showing anything about cents per mile. Okay, base pay is 45 cents per mile. Okay, let me just level with you guys here. You're not going to be making $70,000 a year at 45 cents per mile. This increases to 50 cents at 90 days and then 55 at 6 months. Performance-based raises are often given annually. Pick and stop pay, fuel bonuses, 2,800 miles plus weekly. That's on the really high end of mileage. Generally, as a new driver, you can expect anywhere from 1,800 to 2,300, sometimes creeping in that 2,500 mile zone. But all you can really do is take people by their word until they show you otherwise. But let's go ahead and bring up a calculator here and see what they are saying. All right, so we got the calculator up here. They said we're looking at Raider Express if you're just joining the stream here. Raider Express, we are looking at 45 cents a mile starting out. Sorry, clear, 0.45 cents a mile starting out. Multiplied, they said 2,800 miles a week. I seriously doubt it. I'll give them the 2,500 just for, being a nice guy here, but even then, that's kind of pushing it. $1,125 a week pre-tax. Multiply that if you go out for 50 weeks a year, which even that is a stretch. You're at $56,000 a year. So maxing out pretty much everything. It's showing 56,000 miles a year, $56,000 a year before taxes, not $70,000 a year, which they were claiming on the website here. So I dislike that that situation. Let's go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt, though. Let's do 45 cents per mile multiplied by 2,800 miles per week and see about what that is. $1,260 a week pre-tax. Multiply that by 50 weeks a year. You're probably not going to work even 50 weeks a year with breakdowns, and still, even that, you're at $63,000 per year. Let's do, what did I say? 45 times 2,800. Multiply that by, if you did every single week per year. At their top pay, you're at $65,520, even though when we're looking right here on their homepage, first-year drivers make $70,000 a year. That's over $1,300 each week. Well, according to our math, that's just not mathing, even at their best numbers. I'm already a little turned off by that. Just, number one, they're not posting a whole lot of information. Their numbers seem sketchy online. But give them a call. In my opinion, just based off of the shallow dive, I'm going to say no way. I just hate when people are dishonest. Now, don't get me wrong, recruiters can be dishonest too, drivers can be dishonest, and really there's no way of absolutely knowing for sure what you're getting into until you actually get into it. I don't know, let's see, Google here, Raider Express, locations. Raider Express, search. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, it's only showing that they have one location here. And that's in basically outside of Dallas. So, I mean, if you're from Texas, this might be an option to get you home a little bit more frequently. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that a lot of the stuff that they're spewing is BS, which we just did a little bit of math and we figured that out. So, on to the next one. What we got here? How's everybody doing tonight? Is it hot where you're at? I am burning up. I operate this whole operation out of my garage. So I'm pulling a Steve Jobs over here. I normally have the AC running, but the audio from that is so loud, it would swamp out everything. I got a little fan going here, but it's getting pretty toasty. Everybody doing all right tonight? I see bar none. What's up today? Seeing that. Am I working? Am I currently trucking? Yes. Am I working right now? No. I do operate dump trucks. I do some semi-truck driving on flatbeds and lowboys for equipment hauls. We have, at the company that I work at, we do equipment rentals. So we take scissor lifts, forklifts, bobcats, all that fun stuff to different job sites that are being done. So sometimes I get to hop in the W900 and take those wherever they need to go. Dump trucks, roll-off trucks, doing dumpster stuff. So I do a lot of local work So I am trucking, but it's not over-the-road trucking. And I make a distinction too. I am a truck driver currently. I'm not a trucker. I'm a truck driver. In my opinion, trucker is the lifestyle. That's the over the road. That's living it every single day, being out away from your family. In my opinion, that's a trucker. Right now, I'm a truck driver. So I'm doing the job, but not living the lifestyle. I got an offer from Schneider for 60 cents per mile after 3 weeks. That's so much. Thanks so much for the deep dive. Yeah, no problem, buddy. I think it was a lot different in that Schneider deep dive. But again, companies are changing their policies constantly. In fact, we'll get to the next U.S. truck company. Let me write that down. USA Truck Company. 90 degrees out in Arizona. Holy cow. I don't even know what it is where I'm at. Let me look here. No, you guys want to hear a funny story? My brother actually lives still up in Indiana, 85 where I'm at. Still lives up in Indiana, and he actually he works for a company that does uniforms and things like that and delivers mats and things to different businesses. Well, one of the businesses that's up there in Indiana, in South Bend, in fact, is Halver Truck Lines. Now, me and him are launching another channel, and I might tell you guys about that a little bit later on, but me and him are launching another channel. And he happened to be telling the receptionist at Halver Truck Lines that we're getting ready to launch another channel. He showed a little bit of a clip from one of the videos that we were working on, and she was like, he looks familiar. And he was like, what are you talking about? She asked, does he have another YouTube channel? Mind you, this is at Halver Truck Lines, and he is like, yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, he totally runs Trucker 219. She goes, I'm not sure, but he looks really familiar. He said, well, let me play you one of his videos. He turns it on for 2 seconds. She goes, yep, that's him. Recognize his voice. His video on our company has been circulating around. It's got all the way up to the higher ups. It's been passed around the emails, so everybody got a copy of it. Not everybody was stoked about how I ranked that, but I gave a fair ranking. It is what it is. I'm not here to make the companies happy. I'm here to make sure that you guys got as much information as you guys can have to make the best decision for you and your family. So I'm not here to appease companies. Gypsum has reached out to me wanting to do some sort of collaboration to where I push drivers in that direction. They throw me some money. I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm not here to promote companies. I'm here to promote information and make sure you guys don't get screwed over. So that's a fun little story that my videos, which is crazy to me, number one, that over 11,000 people give 2 licks what I got to say. Number 2, that it's circulating around to these massive companies and going all through their email list. It's pretty crazy. So, all right, let's get back into another dive here. Next up, we had Raider and Rider. R-I-D-E-R. I don't know if that was a misspelling. Let me check real quick. R-I-D-E-R. Transportation. Okay, now this is Ryder Trucks. Okay, this is not a trucking company. They offer leasing, so you can lease trucks from them for major companies. They supply some maintenance on their vehicles, things like that. So they do leasing for trailers and trucks. This is not a trucking company. So unless there was one that I'm missing, I'm going to go ahead and assume that was Raider as well. And we're going to go ahead and keep it moving along. Everybody doing all right? Let me scroll through this chat a little bit here. It's chilly in Maine. What's the temperature up there in Maine? That sounds lovely. I know we're just coming out of like the colder weather, but I was hoping that we would get just a little bit more spring than what we've had. But it is what it is. Any day you get to wake up is a beautiful day. I'm taking advantage, and I'll be applying to Schneider once I get my permit. Very cool. 90 degrees in Clearwater Beach, Florida, and that 90 degrees is a wet 90 degrees. I am not a fan of Florida weather. Everybody wants that to be their vacation spot. No, thank you. Thinking about heading to Knight. Knight seems like a good company. It's one of those situations where they're not going to pay the best, but it seems like they treat their drivers good. not so much in the money aspect, but more so in the respect aspect. And I kind of like Night for what it is. My father-in-law used to do over the road with TWT Trucking and was recommending them. Any info on them? TWT Trucking. It sounds like a smaller company. TWT Trucking. I will see if I can get to them. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and move on here to the next company on the list. Again, FedEx guys, that's going to be a contractor. That's going to be the company and how they control what the cents per mile is, what your stuff is. So you'll be working effectively for an owner operator. So that's one that's going to be very specific to every location. Overall, I haven't heard any bad things about FedEx. From what I could tell from the contractor side, they do like to gatekeep a little bit. So if you can get in there, you're good. But getting in the door as a contractor is going to be a little bit difficult for anybody looking to own their own equipment and lease their trucks onto a company. So let's go ahead and check out Bar None. I've heard really good things about them. Bar None Transportation. But I do believe they require experience. So let's start there. How much experience does Bar None Okay, Bar None Transportation requires a minimum of 8 months of recent verifiable over-the-road experience. This must include verifiable experience driving in major cities and handling snow and ice. However, the requirements can vary slightly depending on the specific route. Okay, so it does offer some team driving. Okay, a little bit of information there. Let's check out their website and see what they got to say. 8 months of experience for them. Oh boy. Anybody got a zip code that they want to? Who requested Bar None? Give me a neighboring zip code if you can. I don't want to blow up where you're at. Let's go with Wonder Pet. Wonder Pet requested Bar None. If not, let's see if we can find some other information on here while we're trying to get one. I don't want to blow up my spot. I can look up a Chattanooga one if we need to. Looks like they're based out of Granger, Iowa. Top pay certified carrier for 21 years. Okay, what does top pay certified carrier mean? Solo truck drivers. Quick apply, quick apply. Okay, so it's wanting your zip code to give you a little bit more accurate information based off of where you're located. I know it's weird, but a lot of places base their pay off of where you're located. Some will only hire you in a certain area. Safe truck drivers earn more at Bar None. We are proud of it. In 2025, the top 50% of Bar None solo company drivers earn an average of $97,500 a year. Again, that's an average number, 97K roughly. Our solo truck drivers enjoy safety and CSA bonuses, 401k match, sign-on transition bonus, that no one matches. I'm curious to see what that looks like. Pro tip, this is one of the most overused selling points to go work for a company is a sign-on bonus. It doesn't mean you're going to get $5,000 or $10,000 as soon as you walk in the door. That money is parsed out over a period of time. In your first 3 months, you might get $500. And the next 3 months, you're up to 6 months, you might get another $500. And then after a year, you might get another $1,000, and it's parsed out over a period of time. It's not a sign-on bonus; it's really a retention bonus. So I hate the term, but that's what they use. So just keep that in mind if you're seeing a big number and you're really strapped for cash, and you're thinking, okay, if I just sign up, I'm going to get this big payday as soon as I walk through the door. It does not happen. Positions with mileage-based pay where available. Okay, so they are picky on where you're at. All loads paid on more accurate practical mileage scale. What does that mean? Practical mileage scale. Lancaster, Pennsylvania to Columbus, Ohio is 402 practical miles, and the shortest miles is 397, a 5-mile difference. I'm guessing they're only giving the positive miles, but I'm sure there's there's a time where the practical miles is less than the shortest miles. Solo truck drivers get $925 plus paid time off if you have a hazmat endorsement. $750 plus paid time off without a hazmat endorsement. So you can get some extra money if you have a hazmat. They do offer some team driving, safety bonuses for $650 if roadside inspection, on-road safety bonus, truck drivers who meet criteria. Okay, so you have to figure out what that criteria is to receive a safety bonus. Let's see if we can find some actual pay here. It looks like they got health insurance if you're single. Go ahead and take a... Why didn't you guys yell at me? You guys didn't yell at me that I'm not showing this? Whoops. That's my bad. I'm not blaming you guys. I apologize. All right, we're on bar none. Taking a look at all their stuff. I'm reading it off as I go. You've already heard me read it, but I'm not lying to you. It's all here. But again, they have some health insurance. Take a screenshot of this. If you're worried about health insurance, they offer dental as well. A lot of people ask me all the time to cover the insurance when I'm doing the deep dives. Insurance is a very much so personal thing. You could have a wife and 20 kids, and your insurance is going to be completely different than a single person. So I'm not covering that when it's a very specific to the person thing. I highly encourage everybody to give the companies a phone call yourself and find out based off of your location. My deep dives are very much so specific to where I'm located, specific to my situation, and I try to give you guys as much information as I can with that. Accumulated paid miles versus PTO days. Okay, so if you get 60,000 miles, which that should take about 6 months. So 60,000 miles, you get 3 days of PTO time. 120, that should be about a year and a couple of months. Roughly, you get another 3 days. So basically in a year, you might be able to get 5 days of PTO time. Either way, PTO time is something that I'd never heard of. If I was taking time off, I was taking time off on my dollar. Award-winning fleet. Okay, let's go back here to the main page. All right, so practical mile scale, paid time off, earned every 60,000 miles, 3 to 9 days based on accumulation. I'm guessing that you'll be able to take home time even if it's not paid. I don't see why they wouldn't allow that. Higher band pay per mile on completed loads less than 400 miles. Ooh, so I'm guessing based off of this that they have a sliding scale. So if you are doing a trip that's less than 400 miles, you're going to make a little bit more per mile to cover the difference. Safety-based pay raises every 40,000 safe paid miles to a high pay cap. Okay, so they base their raises off of safety. Now that could mean a bunch of things, whether you're hard braking, that could be a safety event and they could dock you your pay. Hey, if you guys are just joining in, I seen another comment come through out of the corner of my eye. Request a trucking company. I'm going to get to as many as I can. I will have to go and get my kids towards the end of the stream here. So let's go ahead and carry on. We're looking at bar none to see what they're offering drivers. No touch freight, rider program, $10,000 life insurance policy. CSA scores are really good there according to them. You need a valid commercial driver's license. 8 months of verifiable tractor trailer experience. 6 months is sufficient if teaming with an experienced driver. Call for details. Okay, so if you want to go into their teaming division, you can get away with 6 months. But if not, they want you to have 8 months of experience. No DUIs, moving violations, drug screens. I don't see anything about hair follicle. No preventable DOT accidents and no drug test refusals. Okay, let's see if they have... Ooh, locations. Let's check that out. Okay, so it looks like they are also on the East Coast over here. Granger, Iowa seems to be their home terminal. Columbus, Ohio, Manchester, Pennsylvania, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Looks like their lounges have TVs, fireplaces, Wi-Fi, vending, laundry, showers, fitness centers, full service maintenance, training, orientation, and dispatch. It looks like pretty nice facilities there. A couple of bays to get your trucks worked on if you have to come through the terminal. But this is a northeast job here. So if you're not in these areas, then it could be problematic. You'll have to give them a call and find out. Some companies have been a little bit picky on where they're hiring out of. But again, you're going to need 8 months of experience to start this one. If I had to guess, most of you folks are just getting started in your truck driving career, and it's going to be a no-go for them right out the gate. I could be wrong, though. Pretty sure Bar None is owned by Knight. Well, number one, Knight does own it, so let's see. Let's see if we can look that up. Does Swift, or no, it's Knight Swift. Knight. Jeez, oh Pete. N-I-G-H-T. I am totally spelling that wrong, aren't I? K-N. That's what I'm missing. K-N-I-G-H-T. Own Bar None. Yes, Knight owns Bar None. Knight Transportation acquired Bar None Transportation in 2014. Following the 2017 merger of Knight and Swift, Bar None currently... Okay, so they acquired Bar None well before Knight acquired Swift. Bar None currently operates as an independent subsidiary and brand under the parent company Knight Swift Holdings. That's interesting. I did not know that. I appreciate the information. So Knight does own Bar None, but it operates a separate parent company. Knight Transportation Holdings. Let's see what all companies they have, if it's going to show me. Let's just Google search that. That'll be way easier than trying to read through all this. What companies? I am so a truck driver and not a tech guy. I suck at typing. I'm getting a lot faster, though. I used to peck when I first started doing this. AAA Cooper is another one. Let's see. TWT is based in Spokane, sorry. AAA Cooper, let me write them down here. All right, we'll move on to those here in a second. Let's check out and see. Knight Transportation, Swift, U.S. Express, Bar None, Total Transport, Abilene Motor Express. Somebody had mentioned them. Yep. Abilene Central Refrigerated Transport. I'm guessing they go by CRT. I've never seen them around either. Less than truckload brands called AAA Cooper Transportation. That's what you were meaning. You didn't want me to do a deep dive on them. You were just telling me which ones they own. Midnight Express, Dependable Highway Express, logistics and brokerage firms. You got Knight, Swift, and I'm guessing that's UTXL. Not sure what that is. Cross-border operations is Transmex Inc. Swift Academy and National Tractor Trailer School acquired by Knight Swift to expand driver training pipelines. Ugh, pipelines in that? Pipelines for that word, it sounds wrong, does it not? Am I wrong? I might be crazy. But pipelines for a truck driving school, sounds like they're funneling people just to watch them hit the road. And Millis is owned by Heartland. I know CFI was getting acquired by Heartland. Real quick, let's check that out, and then I'm going to quit doing research on who owns who and figure out what the companies are doing. Any new drivers with Schneider? How was the CDL classes? Hey, if you have questions about the drivers and that are going through truck driving schools and different trucking companies, join the Discord server. There's a ton of different information being passed around over there. I'm in there from time to time, but all the drivers that are getting started in whatever company they're getting started in are sharing some information about what they're going through, what their experience has been, miles, things like that. So get in over there. It's free to join. It doesn't cost anything to be a part of the Discord server, and it's just a place where everybody can help everybody out. All right, what were we looking up here? Is Heartland owned by Millis? It's the other way around. Heartland Express is the parent company that owns Millis Transfer. Okay. The acquisition of Heartland acquired 100% of the equity of Millis Transfer in 2019 for approximately $150 million. Whoa, that's a big purchase. Yeah, interesting. All right, we're going to move on to the next trucking company here just as soon as I look at some of your guys' comments. If you guys are just joining the stream, request a trucking company. I'll probably be going here for, I don't know, maybe another 30, 45 minutes or so, looking at these trucking companies. If you have any small mom and pop companies that you'd like me to check out, I'd definitely like to check out some of them. I don't always get to the bigger or the smaller companies in the deep dives because they are indeed smaller companies. And as much as I want to give you guys information, I also want to make my YouTube channel successful, and that means looking at a lot of the bigger companies, unfortunately. But we are going to start diving into some companies that require experience, probably within the next 2 months or so. I got a handful of trucking companies that I want to get to still that don't require any experience. I'm currently in the process of working on Bison Transport, formerly known as H.O. Wolding. In the United States, Bison was a Canadian company that acquired H.O. Wolding and began operations in the United States. So, already did the recruiter phone call for them. I'm working on lining up a conversation with a driver that's gone to work for them, just so you can get a firsthand experience. If I can do that, I will do that. But oftentimes, a lot of people don't want to be on a phone call or on a video chat with me just because they know it's getting shared out to the world, so they're a little hesitant. I found it very difficult to get drivers to talk about where they work and while they're working there, or even ones that have worked there before. So I do try to get information and talk to previous drivers for whatever company, but sometimes I can't make that happen. But I'm really trying hard to make sure Bison gets one, because actually one of the Cab Climb Club members back here, where is it at? Bison. I think it's him right here at the bottom. Bison, he started working with them. He's actually moved on to another trucking company already, but he said he would get in a call with me tomorrow to talk about Bison, and that deep dive will be out next Sunday. So, I haven't been able to find the Discord link. It's in the description down below. In all of the videos, it says chat with Trucker 219 and 219 fans. Click the link, Discord link here. That's where you go to it. If you have to add me on as a friend on Discord in order to do it, that works out great. I actually got the Discord server open now. I'm looking here. I believe in you guys have to tell me because I can't see the description of the video, but I'm pretty positive I put it in there for the description. But yeah, jump in on that Discord. If not, shoot me an email and I'll send it to you, or leave a comment on one of the other videos. It kind of gets lost in the live stream ones. But join in that Discord server and get some up-to-date, real-world, live information from people that are going through these companies. Ask all the questions you need. Lots of folks in there willing to help. We're going to cross out AAA Cooper because I think they were just saying what company owns what. J&J Trucking. Kokomo, Indiana. That's not too far from where I grew up. I grew up in LaPorte, Indiana, hence the 219. J&J Trucking. Okay, all right. USA Truck Company. I believe that's one that's owned by another company. Who owns USA Truck? company. It's privately owned. Okay, cool. USA Truck. This is the one we're talking about with the Captain America logo, right? Whoever requested it. USA Truck. I'm not sure who requested it, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. USA Truck. I believe this is the right one, but let's go over here to Google. First things first, we want to see how much experience they need, how much experience is required. Ugh, that was rough. Okay, USA Truck requires 6 months of verifiable Class A CDL experience for most standard over-the-road and dedicated routes. However, the company also accepts recent CDL graduates and student drivers as they offer on-the-job training phases to help new drivers start their careers. Requirements are 21 years of age, CDL, medical card, clean driving record, no drug or alcohol in the last 36 months, and a stable work history. Boo, 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 boo. USA Truck homepage. I'm going to take a sip of water here. We've been going for about 50 minutes. All right. Driving opportunities. What do we want? Regional, dedicated, independent contractor. Probably not independent contractor. And they offer team. Let's do regional, just because that's the most widest reaching. Apologize for drinking in the thing. I know I gulp pretty loud too. Mileage pay, earn up to 62.5 cents per mile based on experience. Here we go. Earn up to. That doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily get 62.5 cents as soon as you walk in the door, but you can earn up to that amount. So I hate that, but it is the way it is. Plus a 5 cents per mile quarterly mileage bonus. Weekly home time options are available. Bonus opportunities for long haul tenure reward, quarterly bonuses, and earn up to $3,000 in driver referral bonuses for qualified referrals. And these driver referral bonuses are cool, but a lot of the times I am super hesitant to join a company based off of what somebody says, because they could be trying to be like, hey, I need $3,000, come over, it's great, it's wonderful, and it ends up being trash, but they're just trying to get their money out of the deal. So you guys got to make your decisions for you. CDL, driver benefits, you got some PTO, paid orientation, 7 holidays, medical, dental, vision, company paid life and accident disability insurance, CDL Defender, Family Defender, and Identity Defender coverage options, 401k retirement plan, HSA and FSA benefits options, rider and pet policy. That would be good. Again, we're looking at 6 months of experience, though, starting out. Truck parking reimbursement. Golly, I sure hope so. I never had that going through any of the over-the-road companies I went through. I had to scramble to find the free spots, so if you can get some paid parking and they'll cover it, that would be lovely. Their trucks are equipped with inverters and 100% automatic transmission. So you folks that aren't getting your or have an automatic restriction on your license, it'd be cool to go and work here. In-cab technology, including electronic logging and GPS navigation systems. Requirements for regional, at least 21 years of age, 6 months of CDL driving experience is required, no DUI, DWI, last 3 years, stable work history, valid Class A and medical. I forgot to share the screen again. Ugh, I'm awful. I'm sorry. Okay, so everything that I just said. This live stream is gone in the dumps. Okay, everything I said so you guys can verify. I'm not trying to pull one over on you. All the stuff is right there on their website. I'm trying to see if I can find some jobs, more opportunities to see Oh, search jobs right here. This is what. Oh, this works too. All right, so let's check out Zanesville, Ohio. I was just up there not too long ago for one of those equipment hauls. They were putting in a store up there and needed a couple of scissor lifts. View details, solo dry van. Okay, this one is saying that you're going to make 15 to 1650 per week. Sign-on bonuses pays $500 after the first dispatch and $500 after 30 days, another $500 after 60 days. Like I was saying, folks, that the sign-on bonuses isn't what you're going to make as soon as you walk in the door. This is paid out over time. $275 per day pay. Is that a minimum? That would be okay. I'd be all right with $275 per day. Home weekly options available, 80% drop and hook, 20% live load. More bonuses, more stuffs, pretty much all the same things that they were saying in the main page. USA Truck. Let's see. Let's see if we got anything out west. I know those guys don't get a whole lot of attention. New York, Tennessee, Carolina, Texas, Fredericksburg, Virginia, Minnesota. I want to see if I can search for state California. Search. Nothing. Okay, what about Arizona? Search. Oh, we got one in Phoenix. All right. What about Washington? I never go up north. Washington. Let's see if there's anything up there. Oh, there is a team truck driver out of Washington. View details for the team. Team driver runs from Peoria, Illinois to Spokane, Wisconsin. Washington. Spokane, Washington. Earn $1,900 per week. Get home weekly for your 34-hour reset. Not bad for teaming if you can get home every week. Pretty much all the same other stuff. Referral bonus of $3,000, $1,000 for student drivers. Okay. All right, so that was USA Truck. I'm not seeing a whole lot of information about them, but they do have their phone number right here. Give them a call. Call them. Don't just take my word for it. Don't listen to exactly what they're saying on their website. They do have options for regional truck drivers, dedicated independent contractors, and Class A team truck drivers. An independent contractor, that's okay if you own your own truck. Basically, what you would do is you would come in owning your own truck, having your own company per se. You just don't have your DOT numbers, your MC numbers, and that's what's known as leasing your truck onto a company. Not leasing a truck from a company, which I'm totally opposed to. Leasing your truck onto a company. You own the truck, you just don't have a trailer or an MC number that's been developed yet, or a DOT number. You're just getting started as an owner-operator. Get some experience under your belt, understanding loads and how they're paid. That would be an okay independent contractor. If not, and a company is asking you to sign a 1099, they own the truck, they pay for the fuel, they do this, they do that, they do everything, you're not an independent contractor. Look up the laws on what an independent contractor means. If they are trying to get you to work 1099 and you don't fall within that criteria, you are being ripped off. They are able to hire you and keep you on board without paying for health insurance. If something happens to their equipment, you could be at fault for it because technically you're an independent contractor. Lots of problems with that if it's inappropriately arranged. As an independent contractor, you should be able to walk away, no problems. You should be able to work other side hustles at that job, doing other things. You're not tied to that one employer. So be hesitant about that. You don't want to go to anti-gun states. That's fair, but as a trucking company, as a trucker, you're going to. It's just the way it is. Make sure you look up the laws on that. All right, U.S. Express, but we already did them. J&J and Kokomo, and TWT is two other ones that were requested. I'm just going to leave this trucking screen up so I don't forget again. How's everybody doing tonight? We got 22 people in here. We're about an hour into this. I got about maybe 30-ish minutes left to go. So I got 2 companies left. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done 4 so far in about an hour. So we might be able to get to these last 2, TWT Trucking and J&J Trucking. If y'all could let me know specific, you did let me know. Okay, Kokomo, Indiana, got it. All right. Can we see it on screen? Yep. Yeah, my bad. What are sometimes the chat is delayed. I apologize. I've completely messed up this live stream. It's been too long, guys. I haven't got on here and hung out with you guys at all, so I keep forgetting to switch to the right page there. So Texas. Yeah, stick in Texas if you want your guns. You're good. You're welcome over here in Tennessee too. We like guns. All is well in the South generally. Carrying firearms. Yep. I did a video on that some time ago. Laws are constantly changing, though. Make sure you know what you're getting into if you're going to carry. I highly recommend, even if the laws are different, keep a gun in the truck. Keep one. You never know what kind of crazy stuff will happen out there. All right. Let's carry on to the next trucking company. We're going to check out TWT. Let's go back over here to Google. And I believe that was also in Spokane, correct? USA Truck. I'm trying to look through the chats here to see if I can find it. TWT based in Spokane as well. Okay. But curious if they hire elsewhere. All right, let's check them out. TWT Trucking. Okay. There's one in Chickamauga, Georgia. I don't think that's the right one. Maybe we're talking about TW Transport. Y'all let me know in the comments if that's what the logo looks like. Here, let me move my screen to the side a little bit so you can see it. Is that what the logo looks like that you're looking for? You said they're based out of Spokane, Washington. Come on, dang, get big. All right. Headquarters in Cheney, Washington? Is that it? You said Spokane, but that's pretty close. Locations. Okay, so yes, this TWT, whatever this one is, I hope it's the right one, but they have one near Spokane, Washington, 2 others here in Washington, Boise, Idaho, California, Los Angeles. All right, finally, we found one that is on the West Coast. Let's dive in and see what they are offering. Find jobs. What was the Spokane one? 99004. Let's try that. 99004. You're telling me there's no results for... Okay, am I mistaken here, or does it clearly say that the area code or zip code for this spot is 9904? I searched 9904 and they have no jobs there. Oh, goodness. All right, let's see what else we can find instead of searching for the job. They do have a phone number up here to call. Zip code, discover more about our trucks, apply now, our equipment. Let's see about their trucks since we can't do anything unless we have an actual zip code. I mean, they're nice trucks, T680s. Those are one of my favorites for modern and comfortability. Okay, they got that going on. Let's check over here and see if we can find a area code. Nope, sorry, zip code. For San Francisco. 94102. Let's try that one. I know. I'm sorry. West Coast finally. I just have the worst luck trying to find ones that DOT Foods or DOT Transport. I swore I was going to get them because they had locations absolutely everywhere. Uh, but for some reason, nobody over there was answering the dang phone. 94102. Sorry, I forgot what it was. And we could see the screen too. Yay. I didn't mess this one up. Search. Zero results. Okay, so I want to do more information on them, but their website isn't showing anything. All the area codes from their locations where we literally just looked is showing that they don't have anything. Okay, join the community, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Headquarters, I literally put that one in there. Their locations. I wonder if I can click on one. One was right here in San Francisco, Stockton. Okay, so they have locations in all these spots, but they don't have any information. What does this say? Okay, all right, we're moving on somewhere. Get paid to refer a refrigerated van driver. So theoretically, you could refer yourself. It doesn't say you have to be employed. $500 for a driver within 90 to 180 days. Current Class A experience. $1,200 from a driver with 180 to 365 days experience. $1,500 for a year or more. So those drivers would get that amount of money. Jobs. Truck driving jobs. Are we getting somewhere finally? Search. Nope. We hit another brick wall. I did see new CDL graduate. Get your career in gear. Orientation. Contact a recruiter about becoming a van driver. Okay. So it looks like they will take new drivers. Just from this, what does this orientation say? Yeah, their website is trash, guys. It's absolute trash. I hope this is the right company. Thanks for looking. Father-in-law loved working for TWT. He was a driver trainer. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's possible that they have something good going on over here. I'm not going to give a verdict one way or another just because they don't have any information. They do have locations out west, so if you are out there, definitely give them a call and see what they're offering, if nothing else. This is probably going to be on the smaller side of companies to do a deep dive on. They do hire new drivers, it looked like. But again, let's see if we can go back here to the old Googler. TWT Transport, Spokane, Washington. Okay, let's check out some Indeed reviews. They got 3.9 on the Google reviews, which is kind of rare, since we couldn't find out a whole lot of information that way. Newest, sort of, just like we do in the deep dives, they got a 3.5 based on 24 reviews. That's not a lot of reviews, meaning they are a very small company, which could be a great thing. Good miles and good management. I've been driving with TWT for about 8 months now, and I have nothing to complain about. Your voice is heard here. Driver managers give you what you ask for. Good mileage, respect for your home time. Okay, 4-star, good company to drive for. 4-star, good company to drive for. We're looking all the way back in 2023, 2024, though. So we're like 2 years off on the newest reviews. That generally means that it's a small company, though, especially with not a whole lot of reviews. Anything in the Google reviews here? Horrible company, huge parking in Cheney. Property owners don't care. ID trucks idle all night. Okay, this sounds like horrible eyesore, might I add. Okay, so this is some civilian that doesn't know anything about trucking. I love you West Coast people because you guys are humans, but this type of behavior drives me nuts. Like, if you don't want the noise, if you don't want the eyesore, don't buy stuff from the grocery store. 1 star 4 months ago. Yep, that was that one. 5 star. I live and work in Sandpoint, Idaho, and the Long Bridge traffic around 5 o'clock. Blah 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 blah. The TWT truck in the same traffic. This is the problem with Google reviews. Is it's a lot of people from all different perspectives, whether it's the truck driver or the public. Dispatchers and equipment are good. Miles, they love to run you. The dispatchers will treat you as if you're their longtime friend, but also leave you alone. They do force dispatch, but they typically give you 8 hours before they bother you with a load if you're on your 10. I highly recommend. Had an unfortunate encounter with a driver. Has nothing to do with the company. TWT stands for Twits with Trucks. Truck drivers sped up and cut off as, okay, again, this is the problem with Google reviews and why I stopped doing those. I did those at the very beginning when I first started doing these deep dives, but I found that it's mostly people just had a bad experience with a truck driver and decided to make it a whole thing. All right, guys, let's flip over here. I'll remember this time to flip back. Everybody doing all right? Finally a West Coast company. I know. I hate it because I really do try to cover everywhere. I'm limited based on my location to who will hire me, so I have to do a little bit more research up ahead of time to figure out where I'm going to be, and I so tried to do that with DOT Transport, DOT Trucking, but it wasn't working. Not DOT, dot trucking. So how's everybody doing today? We got 17 people in here. I appreciate you guys for spending your evening with me. I got to get going here in probably about another 15, 20 minutes or so. Let me, J&J Trucking, we're going to get to them real quick, but then I want to open it up for a few minutes just for some questions and answers. Anything you guys want to know about me, how long I've been trucking, all that fun stuff, which pretty open about that. And then we'll finish this off just kind of hanging out. How's that sound? All right, flip back. I know. I'm just going to pull up the company first. Where's the and sign? J.R. Schugel's another big company. J&J Trucking. Out of Kokomo, Indiana. Okay, we got another smaller company here. Family owned and operated logistics. We're flipping now. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. J&J Trucking, family owned and operated logistics and trucking company since 1983, located in Kokomo, Indiana. Oh, let's see how far away that is. I was curious. I think, nope, Kokomo's not on the border. I used to pick up chicken from Logansport all the time in a reefer unit. Yeah, I used to, Trucker 219 comes from this area up here, Michigan City a little bit too, but not too far from my hometown, right there in Indianapolis, so that's kind of cool. Let's check out their website. And this is going to be the last company that we're doing, so I apologize if you're throwing in the request now. You should have got here sooner. A little bit about us. Fast and friendly, family-owned and operated. We're professional transportation services throughout the lower 48. The lower 48. Our team is up for any job, from big to small. Indiana locals know what we stand behind. Know that we stand behind our work, putting your satisfaction as our number one priority. Okay, so they're bragging about their truck stuff, which is cool. Let's see. Our services, more fleet. Okay, so it looks like they offer a box trucks, semi-trucks. Request and addresses. Let's see if we can find out, because their website also reeks of a small company, which is a good thing in my opinion. Floor about. Contact. Okay, they don't have a whole lot going on. This is going to be one you're going to have to call. Very small local company is my guess, even though it says they're operating in the lower 48. Okay. Indeed, employee reviews. J&J Trucking. I'm not positive this is the right one. Because it's saying unclaimed, we don't have a picture here. Snapshot. Virginia. I'm guessing this is not the right one. Somerset, Virginia. A machinist. Yeah, I'm guessing this is not the right one. How do we go about this here? Google reviews, truck lift. Maybe it is. County, Pennsylvania. Try calling the phone number listed, but Verizon has it as the incorrect number. I've used J&J for dozens of truckloads hauling large shredded equipment for the last 5 years. One of their trucks spilled meta shavings on the road, causing multiple vehicles to get flat tires. Metal, not meta. Sorry. 1-star owner and his wife are liars. Their employees and their customers, they combine multiple loads. They pay by the load, which they show you your percentage, never the amount you got paid, so no way to verify it. Trailer, blah, 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 blah. That's a regular person. Great people doing good business. Owner is friendly and can help. Great people, awesome and efficient. Bunch of 5-star reviews, except for a couple that are, folks from the public. It looked like only one that was not. 3.3 stars. Not a huge company, it looks like. It says they run dedicated out of Indianapolis. Okay. Company snapshot, safer.web. Okay, let's see what we got. Active. Their DOT number is active. It says they got 7 power units, which I found that this number is almost always off. I work for a company that had 75 trucks and it just showed 1. So that could be a little bit off. Authorized for hire, state, government, local. Out of service percentage, 1 vehicle. That 1 vehicle got put out of service. That's not good. Then again, DOT doesn't pull over good trucks most of the time. So this is from the FMCSA website, J&J Trucking Company. Their US DOT number is 304820 if you're curious to look up more information about them. Unfortunately, guys, there's not a whole lot going on online for them. This is another call them, show up at their door. Hey, what are you guys all about? I got a CDL and I'm wanting to know if I can come to work for you guys. I'm guessing they're going to be closed at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, but yeah, I would definitely give them a call. Their phone number is right here if you can see it. And that'll be that. 14 viewers left. What's going on, everybody? All right, we're going to wrap this this deep dive or shallow dive live here up with some questions and answers. And feel free to ask away, guys. I do appreciate you guys taking your time out of your Saturday to come hang out. Like I said, next Sunday, I'm not putting out a video this week, hence the live stream. And the reason for that is pretty much everything is done with that bison, minus the fact that I'm trying to get a driver to come onto the channel and give his opinion on bison. So that's going to be coming out next next Sunday. I'm also working on launching a second channel. Um, it has nothing at all to do with trucking. So it might not be in your wheelhouse, but if you like roasts, if you like dark humor, if you like my rant videos, the handful of rant videos that I've done, if you've enjoyed those, this is the channel for you, and it's called Brazen Banter. BrazenBanter. Me and my brother are going in looking at some Reddit stories and giving our twisted humor perspective on it. Not clean, not safe for kids, but it could be a fun listen while you're going down the road. Check it out if you want. If not, I get it. You're here for trucking, and that's what we're all about. Looking at Knights Academy, any tips or tricks for the CDL permit and studying? Yeah, over on the Discord channel, there's a bunch of information as far as where to go. People are constantly commenting. Crest CDL is one that is very popular. A lot of people have recommended it for websites and stuff. I reached out to the owner of that to sponsor a video, see if he wanted to sponsor a video. We weren't able to make that happen in time, but he responded to my email, which in my opinion is already cooler than anybody else has been with me. So I was trying to get a sponsorship for one of my videos. He said he was interested, but we just couldn't line it up in the time frame that I was trying to get that video out. So check him out. Lots of apps, lots of free apps. CDL. Let me actually pull up the Discord server here because I put some in the FAQs over here. The CDL Prep app is one that a lot of drivers are liking. I've looked at CDL Test Genie. As far as studying, any tricks for studying for it, remember the number stuff. How much is your tread depth? How much air pressure are you able to have? All the number related stuff. Everything else should be relatively self-explanatory. Check out the video that I did though of retaking the test after 10 years of driving without studying. I definitely didn't do as well as I had hoped, but realistically the number stuff is what's going to trip you up. What is the stopping distance? How many feet should you stay back from another car? Those number things are the ones that are really going to trip you up. Other than that, you guys should be okay. It should be nice and easy to do. Check out all those apps, websites. Those will help you study by giving you tests, practice tests to try. I know some of the questions and answers are BS. Like one that I had seen when I did that video was if you have a cut valve stem or no tread left on your tread depth. Which one of these 5 options should you not drive on? 2 of those answers were correct, but they only wanted 1. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. There are some practice tests on YouTube with answers that I've listened to multiple times, and it helped a lot. Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't gone through and done any research to figure out which ones are good. Some folks are recommending some over on the Discord server. I haven't gone and researched to make sure it's accurate information. Accurate information could be different based off of what state you're in too. Each state has their own tests and their own wording and their own way of doing it. Generally, the knowledge is the same, but it could be a little bit different. However you like to listen. If you're a visual learner, I would definitely be looking at visuals. If you're an audio learner, maybe one of those YouTube videos are good. I don't know if like Audible or one of the other audiobooks has a DOT manual in it. Go down to your local DMV, pick up the paper copy, read through it in your downtime. That's an option. There's tons of ways to learn how to do it. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory, but other than that, yeah, that's my best advice for that. Learn the number stuffs. Anybody else have any other questions for me? Like I said, guys, I know I've kind of been pushing it a little bit hard this live stream here, but this Discord server is amazing. Everybody's been great in it. And it's just a great resource that I've tried to encourage the building of. I haven't contributed a whole lot recently just because everybody in there is doing such a great job at helping one another out. It's a great resource to learn more about companies. I'll actually pull up my server here on screen and just show you guys real quick. Um, like we have all the different trucking companies, Schneider, Bison, Warner, TMC, Roll. People are coming in here and giving their experience with each and every one of these companies, telling about what they've experienced. You can ask questions of people that have been there. Prime's another big one, pretty popular. Yeah, all these companies overall are in here. I still have a couple more to add, I believe, but overall, it's going to be in there in the Discord server, and you guys can check that out and do that. So, any other questions, guys? My favorite color is purple. If you can't tell, nobody's asked, but I felt like sharing. So, yeah. Somebody had asked if I'm still working. Yes, I spent 8 years as an over-the-road truck driver. And what I mean by over-the-road truck driver is overall, on average, over the course of that time, I was gone for 1 to 2 months at a time. Missed out on a ton of family time. My son was 1 when I started, and he is 10 now, fixing to turn 11. So I've been at it for a long time. I've been doing everything that you can think of, just about. Only thing I haven't really touched is anything hazmat or tanker. I haven't done any of that, but I've done a ton of different trucking stuff. A lot of it, not a lot of it, a handful of it is on the channel and some of my older videos. Stuff that I find cool, interesting, flatbed, dry van. Did walking floor trailers for a while. I worked for Pods for a summer doing the Class B work there. Dump truck, roll off. Lowboy I just hauled for the first time ever a couple of weeks ago now. I went out with my boss and we picked up an excavator and a big bulldozer and we transported that across town, and that was really cool to get a chance to do that. So I've been around a lot of stuff, been around for a long time, and I still think trucking is a viable option. I know a lot of people are freaking out right now that it's not. Especially with the Aurora company being pretty popular in Texas. A lot of companies are introducing driverless trucks into their fleets. It's something to be concerned about for sure. What we can do about it, I don't know. Truckers constantly complaining that they're never making enough money. All the dangers that are out there on the road, guys flipping Uis in the middle of Florida, killing families of 3. Not a good look. It just pushes the idea that trucks are better driven without a human behind the wheel. So something to be looking at as you're getting into your career. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do believe that eventually it's going to be driverless trucks all across the board. I know I have a video on my channel where I took a Waymo. Some of you West Coast folks might know about that, but a Waymo is a Lyft Uber service that is driverless. I took one of those. That was interesting. So we're moving into a different period in the trucking industry, and it's something to think about. So there's that. My kids are small now. I'm over the road 4 weeks at a time. Can't do it forever. Eventually, I got to find a way to stay home. Absolutely, dude. And let me just tell you the biggest problem that I had going from trying to get back local. And the biggest issue that I had, number one, is I loved money. I liked having money. I like being able to take my kids on trips. I like to do family trips. I like to buy the next shiniest new bike. I like to take care of my people, and I liked having money. That being said, I played the brutal game of keeping up with the Joneses, which means every single time my pay increased, because when I started out, I was making 34 cents a mile. During my training period, which was 40,000 miles, that was split between me and another driver, doing teams. So I wasn't making much. I remember some paychecks where it was just $50 when I had taken some home time. When I tell you guys I started from the bottom, I pretty much started from the bottom. And that's why I don't like when people give other people a hard time about how much money they're making. What's not enough for one person is way more than enough for another. So be respectful about that, but don't play the keeping up with the Joneses game, buddy. If your goal is to be off of over the road, take some time, invest some money in something that's going to return you some money, whether that be a pickup truck that you can haul trash with or something like that. Invest in yourself, but don't play keeping up with the Joneses, meaning, okay, let's get the nice new car, let's get the nice new house. You can upgrade your life a little bit, but just know that there is a sacrifice to be made one way or the other. If you're an over-the-road truck driver, your sacrifice is time. If you're a local truck driver, 9 times out of 10, your sacrifice is money. It's an old adage, but if you got time, you ain't got money. If you got money, you ain't got time. So, but that all depends on where you set yourself up in life. If you're constantly playing the game of keeping up with the Joneses and increasing your expenditures and your life expenses, you're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much money you make. So keep that in mind as you guys are moving through your careers. If you're wanting to make a change, you're going to have to make sure you keep your lifestyle relatively chill. If you're wanting to be over the road the whole time, in my opinion, if you don't got wife and kids, sell everything, live out of the truck. Go travel the country for 2 months, and then on your home time, take some up in Washington or California or Maine or Missouri or Utah or wherever you want to in the country. It's a beautiful country. While you guys are over the road driving, take some time to explore. I've seen all but 2 of the 48 states, so I'm at 46 states. I'm missing North Dakota and Maine. That being said, I've seen all those states from guardrails and painted lines. I never got out and explored a whole lot. So enjoy your time on the road. If you got a family back home, they're going to be pretty needy of your money and your resources. And that can be a factor. So I get that. That's the situation that I was in. But take the time to explore this beautiful country. It really is a gorgeous country. And no matter where it's at or who's living there, the land, the sights, everything is beautiful. All right, I'm a new CDL graduate, and I have many job offers, but Schneider's offer is the best for me. 3 weeks training and team driving at 65 cents per mile. That's fantastic. 65 cents per mile starting out, that's nuts in my book. Like I said, I started out at 34 cents per mile. So starting out at 65 or 55 or 50, like for me starting out 55 was like, that was top dollar. That was the best you're going to get. When I started out moving up. The best I ever made was that 65, 70 cents a mile. And that was when I was hauling flatbed and doing that kind of thing, working for a very small company with about 7 trucks. So it's one of those things that, again, it's just all about perspective in life, where you're coming from, what looks good, what doesn't. But in my opinion, I think 65 cents per mile to team is pretty good. Be mindful though if you're team driving. If you're team driving, there's an adjustment period. When your bed is constantly moving while you're trying to sleep, it's hard. It's really hard to get a good night of sleep. Any bump sends you flying off the bed, especially night. I do believe that they run Freightliners and Internationals and stuff. Those trucks are not very smooth. If you get lucky enough to get a Kenworth, those are a little bit smoother, or Peterbilt. Volvos are actually really smooth as well. Nobody likes Volvos though for some reason, but they're comfortable trucks. So just be patient with yourself and be honest with your recruiter and your teammate. If you're too tired, you didn't get enough sleep, don't drive the truck. It's not safe. So that's my opinion on that. And like I said, guys, jump in the Discord server. I'm in there from time to time. Leave your comments down below. If you see a little heart next to your comment, I've seen it. Some things I don't have time to respond to, or it's one of these questions that I get asked 1.5 billion times. So it's something that's a personal thing. What company should I go to work for? I can't tell you. You gotta figure out what works best for you. So I'm not responding to those, but I do want you guys to know that I have read it. I'll either like it and heart it or comment or one of the two. 11,000 subscribers in, and I'm still trying to keep up with all the comments. I had one recent subscriber and follower comment on over 70 videos in a in probably about 48 hours, and I was able to barely get through all those. But I try to do what I can do to make sure you guys get all the information you can, make good choices in your truck driving career. And we'll be back probably next Sunday with a new video on bison. I might throw a couple short reels in here and there just to keep the algorithm happy. And I use the short reels to kind of try to, put a little bit of funny or real world job stuff going on in the short reels so you guys can see that too. But that's going to end this live stream here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Saturday evening that you guys could be spending with your families and stuff, and hanging out here with me. So I got to go get my kids, and I will see you guys on the next video. All right? Bye.